And let's now go to the Federal Shadow Resources Minister, Susan McDonald, who joins us from Brisbane. Thanks for waiting on the line there for us, Susan, while this unfolded in Sydney. But another woman set to take over a leadership position in the state Liberal operation. Your response to these shenanigans, but how it looks like turning out?
Well, I'm very familiar with the expression that a week's a long time in politics. I wasn't as familiar with the morning as a long time in politics. Perhaps that's the new way in the new world. But I wish the new leader, when that person be elected tomorrow, all the very best. It's a big job. It's a responsible job that we've got to hold Labor to account, because I don't think we've ever seen Australians doing it as tough. Real wages down to 2011 levels. Productivity shot, small businesses closing at the greatest rate since we've been recording those numbers. More families, more working families turning to Foodbank and other food organisations than ever before. This is not a time for oppositions to be shirking from their duties, which is holding the government to account and making sure that Australians, that we can get back on track. This is a very serious time, I'm afraid, Chris.
Well, 2 points about this that relate directly to federal politics and the federal coalition. One is that Mark Speakman says that he suffered brand damage from what's been going on in the federal coalition and their obviously disastrous performance at the last election. Your response to that?
Oh, well, there is no doubt that we have to do better as a federal coalition, be more united, be more disciplined. And I'm certainly very pleased to be in the National Party room where we're not suffering from people speaking out about the leader. I think it's unacceptable, and I look forward to that party room being able to be a bit more disciplined, because we've got a serious job to do, and that is holding Labor to account. The pathway that we are on is incredibly serious. And so the latest news of our energy policy, I'm really excited about. I think it is what Australians have been looking for, is for us to provide some leadership on calling out the net zero Labor plan.
Well, let me jump in there, because that
business, which is making it.
Yeah, let me jump in there, because that's exactly where I want to go. And I think calling out the net zero scam is exactly the right decision for the federal coalition. It's crucial to rescue this country and our economic prospects. But one issue is you've got state parliaments, state Liberal parties, state coalitions who are sticking with net zero by 2050. And as he exited there, we heard more from Mark Speakman, I might say, tonight than anybody's heard from him the previous couple of years. But he said he remains committed to net zero by 2050, and the expectation is that Kelly Sloan would as well. How are you going to talk some sense into these state Liberal parties who don't seem to understand the energy crisis unfolding around them?
Well, I think that taking practical action is where the states are at. And in Queensland, we've seen the very practical decision, the energy plan, to extend coal-fired power stations, to sweat the assets that the state already owns. And I'm sure that other states are looking at similar concepts. We know that in our trading partners like Japan, their net zero aspirations have become exactly that, aspirations, not hard targets. We're seeing so many countries around the world step back from making commitments to 2035 because they realise that it's one thing to say you believe in net zero, but it's also equally important to say, do you believe in energy security in your country? Do you believe in food security in your country? Do you believe in a strong defence policy? All of these are also important. And certainly in Australia, we have seen a blind devotion to just one policy, which is hurting Australians, hurting our productivity, hurting our manufacturing ability, hurting our ability to process critical minerals, and worse, seeing Australian jobs go offshore. So, it is time to get back to the business of being the sort of prosperous, effective economy that Australia has long had a reputation for being, and to stop this madness where we are trying to achieve emissions targets which are double the rest of the world, and to make sure that whilst we do our bit for world emissions, that we get more serious about doing it in a way that suits Australia and Australians.
Indeed. Thanks so much for joining us, Susan McDonald. I appreciate it. Shadow Resources Minister Susan McDonald there live from Brisbane.